Hey, Steve Zook here. Excuse me. Welcome back to Poke Suit Channel and the Guitar Ladder System. Hey, this video is called What Joe Pass Said to Me. This is true, too. I'm 66 now. I studied with Joe Pass when I was about 22, 23. And I didn't take a million lessons from him, but I took enough to really get a good feel. He wasn't the most verbal guy in the world, but he said some things. He said in order to have really substantial musical growth, you need to work on chord progressions, chord melody. But what he really was trying to say, he wasn't the most verbal guy in the world, was working on improvisational skills, and that by learning how to be musical with chords and put chords together in a musical way and kind of discover chord families that go together, it really wakes up your musical ear. And so that's why I've titled this one. And that's really what the Guitar Ladder System is about. It's over 200 studies with video and chart for each one. I do not send all at once. It's not effective that way. Like if you look at cycle 1, and this, by the way, fits in really nice in satin doll. But it's learning, and I also got the same advice from Horace Hatcher. Horace Hatcher taught Howard Roberts how to play when he was a young man in Arizona. And Horace Hatcher went on to form GIT, excuse me, I got granola in my throat, and then changed the name to Musicians Institute in Hollywood, one of the most successful music schools ever. So, I mean, this advice came from two great teachers, Horace Hatcher and Joe Pass, and I have some Horace Hatcher studies in my Guitar Ladder. If you really want to make a quantum leap on guitar, I suggest you invest in $199. It really works, folks. I teach the subconscious mind. I compliment and respect the subconscious mind, not annoy it. Huge point. There's a place for everything, but music and art's a lot different than learning like how to be an engineer. And if you learn how to seed, like planting a seed in good soil, how to seed the subconscious mind, it's so powerful. It can just make quantum leaps. So that's what the Guitar Ladder System does. Today I want to talk about, maybe introduce an idea here. This is a form I really like. Now it's a non-root form. If you look at it and see it doesn't have this. It's a 13 form, and but you don't have you don't need to use the root. It has a nice chime to it without the root. But I connect that chord with this chord, and then take the same idea and just move it down. It's very musical. Hear that? Now this form here, like I said, this form was a non-root 13. This form here has a flat 13 in it. It has a root. It has a 3. It has a 6. It has a 7. It's kind of like a major sound with a flat 13. But see how nice those two go together? This could be a nice little intro for something. This has a lot of Joe Pass in it. Now you can always go from this to the minor 13, to the minor 7, flat 5. Then go to major 13, 7 sharp 5 sharp 9, 13 9, 13 13 flat 9 to a bichord. What people tell me when they start the Guitar Ladder System, and I always tell people don't be results oriented. There's a whole science called neuroplasticity, which is the way the subconscious mind works best. When you don't, I know it sounds contradictory to the way we usually are taught to learn, but when you don't become so results oriented, even Matthew McConaughey talks about this, when you're not so results oriented, you stay in the here and now, you stay positive, you just do the work, and you just trust and believe in it. Your subconscious mind actually has an open switch and a save switch. I'm actually getting goosebumps talking about this. It's really amazing. I've had private students go through my Guitar Ladder System that have made such quantum leaps. It seemed kind of supernatural, almost like they were born into a more musical family. I'm not just making this up. I've seen it firsthand. I talk about it all the time when people call me on the phone. So it's really the way I approach the Guitar Ladder System is unique, and it cooperates and complements the subconscious mind. Folks, your subconscious mind is so powerful. It doesn't need a bunch of cute little formulas and a bunch of left brain right, in a box type stuff. I've sold the Guitar Ladder System to people that have master's degrees in music, but they actually called me and said, Steve, I can't improvise, I can't compose, I'm stuck in a box. That's why the guitar ladder system is so powerful, because you don't have to analyze it. You like here's cycle 1. I mean, sure, you can look at it and say major 7, diminished, but your subconscious mind runs the whole physiology of your body. It's so powerful. It doesn't need a cute little formula. When you begin to input musical ideas into your subconscious mind, it will begin to assimilate and kind of compare and contrast on a subliminal subconscious level. You'll make a quantum leap. Again, it's kind of a Zen thing, it's kind of a paradox. Don't focus on results, just do the work and you'll have some huge leaps, because you're complementing the subconscious mind, not annoying it. Music is different. It's not like learning engineering or how to rebuild a car engine or something. It's a whole different thing. So art is different. But anyway, so today's idea is this: non-root 13. Sometimes I'll use one of the open strings to this major sound with a flat 13, non-root. See, this has a lot of Joe pads. Sometimes I'll go to the minor 7, flat 5. So do you hear that? Maybe throw in a bichord. So if you really want to take a quantum leap in your playing, just doing chord melody isn't enough. You need to work on chordal studies. And my chordal studies introduce 9 or 10 different chordal improvisational approaches, but I don't get into a left brain, boring rap about it. You just absorb it subconsciously. It really works, folks. I've sold thousands of courses. The emails I get, even phone calls, are pretty amazing. The growth that people have had, because when you approach learning guitar in the right way, you make a quantum leap. And again, there's a whole science called neuroplasticity which supports this. But it's really important that you just kind of trust the system. Don't overanalyze it. Don't pick it apart. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to put it into a box. I've had some people say, well, how come you use this chord here in diatonic harmony? That chord should be this. It's like Miles Davis said, learn what you can, forget the bullshit, and just play. But it's actually, I believe, I've seen more progress from students where we didn't spend a ton of time, because diatonic harmony only takes you so far unless you're, Bach. And even then, he broke a lot of rules. Rules are bullshit, It's about learning how to improvise. Like I said, I introduced 9 or 10 different systems of improvisation, but you learn them in a really, really organic fashion. So you can order at stevesguitars.com. If something's resonating within you on this, just order the system. I'll give you a whole year to try it. If you don't agree, it's been well worth your money. Even after a year, I'll give you your money back. Anyway, so this one more time. Hear how nice that is? All right, folks. Oh, this guitar is available too. These are they don't make these anymore. This sounds great. It's the Loar. I've been a dealer with the Music Link for 12 years. This is the LH 280. It's like a 175, but it sounds just as good, or actually better, because it has thicker layers of laminate wood. Thick layers of laminate wood with some mahogany sandwiched in between those layers. Even unplugged, it even has a beautiful sound. This is unplugged. Hear that resin? That's incredible for unplugged. Hear that? Now it's kind of fun to have just a little bit of juice. So if something's resonating within you, just go to stevesguitars.com, order the guitar ladder system. I don't send it all at once. It's not productive that way. If you really want to have some musical growth, not just in jazz, it will wake you up for. I play all kinds of styles. I do some kind of Michael Hedges solo acoustic stuff. I do some flamenco. I do some fusion. You can check out some of my music at stevezook1.bandcamp.com. That's stevezook1.bandcamp.com. But it really works. But if you really want to take a quantum leap on the guitar and learning how to compose and improvise, because improvisation is how you're going to develop compositional skills. Quit wasting your time. Get into the guitar ladder system. It will be the best $199 you've ever spent, guaranteed. And you can order it at stevesguitars.com. My advice, don't overthink it. Go for it. You'll really be glad you did. This guitar is $499, by the way. It sounds amazing. Bye.